Hi there! Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts. We're going to our first Disney World this time.
It's Disney World now.
But first, we have to take a ride in the gummy ship.
Oh, that's what that is. The textureless Lego thing.
I'm kind of glad that I never have to worry about weird texture mouths with these two because their mouths are just too large.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're too fucked up looking to actually get that problem.
Yeah.
So there is a high score challenge between each world. The problem being that the gummy ship kind of sucks.
I like the Microsoft 94 screensaver background there.
It's a heck of a skybox.
And there is a lot of it.
Space, the final frontier.
I can see your 2 meters there, power arm.
Yeah, you know, for power and armor.
I thought you just meant the gummy ship had one really swole arm. Wow.
I mean, you could probably make that.
Also, wow, this does not look great.
No, it gets slightly better once you get more parts, because then you can make the ship go faster and have more gun.
So this is where Yoko Taro got the idea.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be a ship combat game at some point.
Is this the latest Tuhu or whatever?
I still don't think I fully know what that is.
It's a shoot 'em up series by one drunk Japanese guy, and there is a terrifying amount of fan porn for it. That's about all you need to know.
Why do you always have to go in that direction?
Look, someone had to, so it might as well be me.
There is not much to say about the
Yeah.
gummy ship.
There sure is a whole lot happening. God, this is like Superman 64.
Well, look, there are rings like the Sonic the Hedgehog, the live-action Sonic movie. All right, that's about all I've got.
Topical humor.
Well, good thing the gummy ship is dead now.
Oh, thank God.
Until we have to go to the next world.
Oh boy, we're in Tim Burton's Wonderland.
I don't think Tim Burton had the idea for his really bad Alice in Wonderland film by this point.
So this would be more American McGee at this point. Sora's just standing there like, okay.
This is happening.
That rabbit's eyes were kind of red.
A little bit.
Sure. So one of the interesting things about Kingdom Hearts is you can very much tell that they have Disney money because they get as many of the original actors as they can back.
Yeah, that it is genuinely quite impressive.
That's a fucked up dormouse.
Yeah, that was unpleasant looking.
We're going to be seeing more of that.
Wait, what do we have to do to grow small?
Why don't you try the bottle? Over there.
Get crunk.
Ain't It Funny by Danny Brown, now featuring Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
You may have noticed me running around there. It's because it doesn't like to make the prompts show up at first unless you move a bit. Also, hey, we've got new enemies.
I like how the demons have all also shrunk with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Look, they might be like soulless monsters, but they're not above. They wouldn't fight dirty.
Yeah, I believe these new enemies are called the Red Serenades. I don't know why they're called that, but
Because it's Kingdom Hearts.
yeah, basically. But as you can tell, they just kind of fly around and shoot fire at you. Also, thank God we finally got scanned, but I don't have the AP to equip it until the end of the episode. Oh, remote play. But scan is the thing that will finally let us see enemy health bars. Thanks.
I was going to say Sora has a key. Why can't I get into that door? Then I realised how horrifying that would actually be.
No, there's a small quote-unquote puzzle. We have to push the bed into the wall and then get into the very obvious opening that was behind it.
That makes sense.
It's Wonderland. It's not supposed to make sense.
You could have just shoved your arm down the door's throat when you were small. That'd have woke it up.
When I mentioned earlier that they get as many of the original actors as possible, this is the same lady who voiced Alice in the 1950s Alice in Wonderland cartoon.
Huh.
Like 60 years later. I think she's like 80 years, 90 something at this point.
Her Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, presiding.
Ah.
There's no doubt about it. And the reason is because I say so, that's why.
She stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Well, have you anything to say in your defense?
Of course. I've done absolutely nothing wrong. You may be queer,
Objection.
but I'm afraid that doesn't give you the right to be so mean.
Silence! You dare defy me?
Hey guys, we should help her out.
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling? Oh, yeah. And that's against the
Oh, I love Donald and Goofy so much.
Yup, we have.
Charged.
Donald and Goofy have a non-intervention policy.
An attempted theft of my heart. Oh,
Kingdom Hearts 3, Donald and Goofy start an international incident.
Hold it right there.
who are you? How
No, that's Dream Drop Distance. 3 is full-on war crime.
But we
Kingdom
don't
Hearts is giving a really damning portrayal of the American legal system
Anyway,
here.
she's not the one you're looking for.
That's nonsense. Have you any proof?
Okay.
That's such a good cut.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope you enjoyed voice acting for this world, because that's the end of it.
Well, time is money.
Ugh.
That's all weird.
His head doesn't match his body.
Donald's just over here having a panic attack now.
Well, he is a duck.
Like, Sora and Goofy just don't care, and Donald's like, guys, I can't be here anymore.
You can't spell Donald without disassociation.
Donald spends the rest of the world at the washroom. Ah, man, these jokes are getting too personal and dark for me. So, I had to record this world 3 times. Because the first time, I couldn't find the last piece of evidence, and it took me like 20 minutes to remember where it was. And, like, at that point, it was just too meandering. The second time, I had a good run, but then I had just a metric shit ton of technical issues with remote play.
Oh no.
And then the third time, I just moved my PlayStation into the living room on the wired connection, so I didn't have to worry about that. I don't get why this area is, like, in a box. Like, everything is very clearly painted on the walls. It's weird.
I mean, they can kind of get away with that with, you know, it's Wonderland, but, yeah.
Platforming!
It's great. Gotta love it.
There's really weird landing lag, too. You okay? Goofy just freaking out with the text, "Obtained Stench" is my new favorite part of this video game.
Oh man, I know we just named an episode Obtained Fish, but that might have to be the title. Or I say you named it that.
So, I can kind of see how you've leveled up, because those Heartless are going down really fast now.
Yeah, just a bit. Also, like, this world is... Like, I don't think they expected me to kill as many of the enemies as I did in Traverse Town, because the enemies in this world are about the same level as in Traverse Town. Platforming!
I guess.
You ever see moments when you see someone playing a video game and you can just sort of feel how awkward it is to control it, even though you're not playing? I'm just bringing that up for no reason.
Also, we found Dalmatians. That is a side quest that I forgot to bring up in Traverse Town. But do not worry, friends. We will be going back to Traverse Town at the end of this episode to look at that, because it is absolutely worth looking at. Okay.
Now you can platform better, maybe.
I don't know why, but the stump just saying, "See ya." It's really funny to me. Okay.
I don't even know what that was. You just found some, like, brown thing and ate it.
I think it was meant to be a peach.
It's a chestnut.
No.
Okay.
Anyways, we got a platform back up here. Slightly easier this time, for some reason. So stepping on that stump made the Lotus pop up, so now we can get over here and do the most precarious jump in this entire game.
Jesus
Oh god.
Christ.
Oh, are these things you're getting supposed to be evidence?
Yeah, those are the evidence. Yeah. There's like the claw marks, the Stench footprints, and then one other thing I can't remember off the top of my head. Shit.
Yeah. You need to use them all in the class trial that's coming up.
Damn it.
I just didn't put it together that Stench would be evidence and not some sort of item.
Yeah, you're right. We found the new Stench potion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial when Sora brings out a bottle of fart gas.
I found some Stench. She's like, my god.
Yeah, finding all 4 pieces gives you access to Blizzard. Which, I mean, again, the magic in this game still ain't great, but... Also, this is some garbage.
Oh, is this some... Is this some random number generation?
Kinda. I don't think I've ever seen anybody fail at this, but it's just like really dumb of like, hey, here's like 4 things, I'm gonna put one in, you pick it, and then like, maybe it'll be mine, and if that's the case, then I'm correct.
When are they gonna add a Judge Dredd world?
I'm looking forward to the Warhammer 40,000 world.
Anyway, it's time for a mini boss against just a bunch of card men. The actual objective of this fight is to destroy the tower in the middle, because that's the thing that raised Alice up. But if you don't take out the card guys, who will respawn after a certain amount of time, they are just a pain in the ass. Also, wow, 100 points is a lot.
Yeah. As I said, do you get any of the tech points for beating the cards?
No, unfortunately. I think the tech points are mostly just relegated to, like, pulling off counters.
I see. Do you get any EXP for beating them, or is it just cash?
Not just the tower, but the tower pays out like 100,
Yeah.
so I guess they thought, like, oh, these respawning cards are probably going to be a bit of a pain in the ass.
Well, she's chilled out after trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
This makes sense.
I'm getting real sick of this guy's shit.
Alright, listen here, you little fucker.
Jiminy Cricket's just writing in his journal trying to figure out what the hell this all means. Also, here's another new guy. I don't think I know his name. I just call him the fat guy. He's got the gimmick of if you try to hit him from the front, he just deflects all of your attacks.
You're forced to fight him like a coward, which is Nomura's hard-hitting commentary on combat. Also, this guy looks like a real pain to fight.
Not that bad.
Well, not difficult, just irritating.
Eventually you get, like, more ways to combat them because they do start showing up, but, like, eventually we will have more moves than just our basic ass loadout or combo. At the end of this, I do get, like, some more AP, so I get the sliding dash back and then also scan. But there are definitely some ridiculous moves we get. Camera! The later games did kind of realize that having, like, such closed quarters combat doesn't particularly work in terms of the camera.
Yeah.
So there's more, like, open-ended areas.
Yeah, because, wow, this room is absolutely hot trash.
Also, I really don't need to be fighting all of these little guys because they're paying out, like, dimes instead of dollars, but...
I see you learnt Berserk, the popular grimdark manga.
Yeah, that, I'm trying to remember correctly here. I think, like, I'm not going to be equipping stuff for the most part during, like, recording. I do it at one point here, but, like, it's gonna be a real weird-looking cut, because I just completely removed the menu opening and closing. But if I remember correctly, Berserk makes it so Donald does more damage when he's got his health bar flashing red. So basically, Donald will always be doing slightly more damage. Like, look at him. He's already almost dead.
Oh, yeah.
Also, wow, the cut to the menu is a little less jarring than I thought it was. I didn't even notice it happened.
No.
Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't said anything.
I was just thinking, it wouldn't really be Donald Duck if he wasn't constantly facing death.
I guess I just assumed it would be more jarring because of the music, and then I remembered, oh right, we're talking! Also, that big guy will just infinitely charge you until you dodge him or get hit. So since he was just running against a wall, he would have never stopped if I stayed up there.
Look, either the wall would have broken or he did.
What happens when the immovable force, or the unstoppable force, hits the immovable object? This is not how you get up there. Also, we are in the opening room with the bottles, just on the roof.
What?
Oh.
I didn't even notice we were upside down.
Or ceiling, I guess. Yeah, because these look like tables less than they do like chandeliers, don't they?
Yeah.
God, this
Game ate my input.
the Cheshire Cat is truly the Comeda of this game so far.
God, I hate you.
That's the second Danganronpa reference I've slipped into this LP now.
In the same episode, no
Yeah.
less.
It's low-key a microaggression at this point.
What? How do... What?
Camera!
The Thundara G is not, hey, now we have the ability to use Thundara. If it has a G at the end, that signifies that it's a gummy ship piece.
I nearly got
In the case of the Thunder stuff, it's just straight up gun. I mean, at least they nailed, like, the weird way the Cheshire Cat moves.
You can like he's constantly miming on invisible objects and stuff. You can tell a lot of love went into the Disney stuff in this.
Yeah. Like, even though the cutscene direction isn't always the greatest, like, the animation department wasn't slacking off.
Yeah, it's like some of the gags with Donald and Goofy, like, they are straight out of the Disney cartoons for these characters.
Anywho. Here's the boss of Wonderland, the Trick Master. He is the man who is going to trick the world.
Into thinking that he's not a monster.
I mean, that was more a joke about the Shockmaster.
Why would the Trick Master apologise for being a monster when no one's apologised for turning him into one? Makes you think.
Anyways, the Trick Master is kind of a pain in the ass to fight.
Yeah, he's just kind of stood there gyrating.
He's really hard to hit unless you get up on something, but like most of the time he's too far away for you to really hit him.
I see Donald's dead.
And, like, yeah, he will always deflect if you hit his legs. It's just kind of sucks.
So when they get knocked down, do they just stay down or do they eventually get up on their own?
They'll get back up. I think it's on like a 30-second timer or so. Also, this happens. Sometimes he just takes away your platforms.
I kind of dig that, actually. That's fun.
Yeah, it's a pain gameplay-wise, but it's a fun little detail.
Yeah. I do like that the boss for Wonderland is just really weird. No, that's a neat touch.
Yeah.
I do like that he just straight up went to the stove and set his stuff on fire.
Yeah, it's really good. It also gives him access to, like, 2 new moves, I think? Like, also, he does slightly more damage in his second phase now that his shit's on fire. But he can also lob homemade fireballs at you that I'm sure you can counter, but God knows I didn't.
I do kind of like part of his design with the legs. That's a really neat looking thing.
he definitely looks like a Lost Wonderland character. Which is actually a thing that a lot of the boss heartless do. Like, they definitely did take into account what world they were in for them.
Yeah, they're not just whatever Nomura came up with on his lunch break.
Except in the case of guard armor, but like, what are you gonna do with Final Fantasy World?
Yeah. Oh.
Damn it! Here's what the game over screen looks like.
Now you are the Heartless.
Sora getting raptured. Mick Freeze?
Deep freeze. So, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but do you all know who voices Sora?
Is it Haley Joel Osment?
It is.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Oh, I did? Okay.
I've heard some people say that, like, as the series goes on, they kind of get weird about, like, how they pitch him in it.
Not really. It's just like... in the case of Chain of Memories, the one version in this collection, because obviously the GBA version didn't have, like, voice acting, but, by the time they had remade it, Haley Joel Osment was, like, not a 12-year-old anymore.
Yeah. He was a grown adult.
So, like, even though Chain of Memories happens very shortly after the first game, Sora suddenly goes entirely through puberty. But for the most part, most of the people who have voiced the original characters have stayed around. Kairi was voiced by Hayden Panettiere?
Panettiere.
Panettiere. But now she's voiced by Alison Stoner, I think.
Ah, interesting.
And then Riku has always been David Gallagher.
What a racket. How's a doorknob to get any sleep?
Ugh.
Oh no.
There's a keyhole in his keyhole.
Oh
God.
no.
That's potentially the worst innuendo anybody has made this episode, and I'm just saying what's actually happening.
God.
You know how you can sometimes see people's art and you can just tell they're really into Vor?
Walt Disney was a fucking freak. And then there's this asshole.
Did you know Walt Disney actually hated the Alice in Wonderland film?
I think I remember something. What did it hate? Was it like the animation style or?
Yeah, I think it was a mixture of that and also, like, he wasn't a fan of how they adapted the original plot.
I see.
Because, like, a lot of it does look very low budget in comparison. Even though I think a lot of that movie still holds up for being, like, 1951.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the old Disney stuff does hold up just because of how good some of the draftsmanship in that actually was.
Yeah. Also, don't worry, I skipped the gummy ship for you that time.
Thank fuck. Oh boy, Donald got a HP up, that'll come in handy.
I had to go back to a previous save, so forget about that. Don't worry about it.
Oh good, fuck him.
Because finding the Dalmatians earlier actually would have made it so that this text doesn't pop up.
You gotta find all the collectible puppies.
The 99 puppies were lost amid the chaos of their world's destruction.
I love this stupid fucking game.
See you next time, folks.
Bye.